Hello everyone. Today I'm going to use a TV signal splitter to build a DIY antenna using only simple tools. First, I use a small wooden piece as the base stand for the antenna. Then I install screws and tighten them with a screwdriver to securely attach the TV splitter to the wooden base, making the whole structure more stable and solid. Here I'm using two metal hinges to create the connection between the signal receiving frame and the TV splitter. These hinges help make the antenna frame stronger and keep the components securely fixed during use. First, I place the hinges onto the wooden base to align them in the correct position. Then I use a drill and screws to secure the hinges onto the wood. After that, I continue drilling and fastening the other side of the hinges to the opposite side of the wooden piece to complete the support frame. Next, I use bolts and washers to create the connection between the two sides of the hinges. These parts help make the antenna frame stronger and reduce shaking during use. I insert the bolts through the mounting holes on the hinges, then add the washers and tighten the nuts to firmly secure the entire connection. In the next step, I'm going to use this copper wire to create the signal receiver for the antenna. First, I cut two short pieces from the main copper wire. Then, I bend them into angled shapes to connect the hinges with the TV splitter. For the remaining copper wire, I bend it into a horseshoe-like shape to form the main signal receiving frame of the antenna. First, I use the two short copper wires to connect the hinges to the TV splitter. Then, I tighten the screws to firmly hold the copper wires in place. After that, I attach the larger copper wire to both sides of the hinges to complete the antenna's signal receiving section. And as you can see, the overall antenna frame is now complete. Now, I'll move on to the final step and test how well it works in real conditions. Here I have an antenna connector that will allow the antenna to connect to the TV. I'll use a signal cable as the connecting wire. First, I use a utility knife to carefully cut a small section at the end of the cable to expose the metal shielding mesh inside. This mesh helps reduce signal interference during transmission. Next, I remove a small part of the insulation from the inner core wire to prepare it for the signal connection. After that, I attach the cable to the antenna connector. Finally, I wrap electrical tape around the cable and to insulate and protect the connection more securely. On the other end of the signal cable, I attach another connector jack so it can be easily connected to the TV. Once everything is finished, I connect the cable jack to the homemade antenna. This antenna has a pretty compact design and is made mostly from recycled components, so the overall cost is very low. Even though it's built from old materials, the structure and connections still look solid and well organized. Now it's time to test the antenna in real-world conditions and see how well it can receive signals. Now, I'm going to switch channels on the TV to check whether it can receive any signal without an antenna connected. As you can see, without the antenna, the TV cannot receive any signal at all. The screen shows a no signal message, meaning no broadcast channels are being detected. Next, I'll connect this homemade antenna to the back of the TV for a real-world test. As soon as the antenna is connected, the channels appear almost instantly. The picture looks clear and stable, showing that the antenna is working even better than I expected. I'm now switching through different TV channels to test the signal stability. To make the test more accurate, I'll remove the antenna and reconnect it one more time. When the antenna is removed, the signal disappears immediately. And once I plug it back in, the channels return and work normally again. This proves that this DIY antenna can actually work well in real-life use, even though it was built mostly from recycled materials and old components. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next DIY project.